Are we about to see Boxy Boo in Poppy Playtime Chapter 5? Boxy Boo is the very first monster to appear in Project Playtime without being an actual antagonist in the main game. In Safe Haven, we eventually find a room. Wait, no, not this room. Where is it? Hold on. Okay, got it. Inside, there's a place that looks like a ritual room. On the walls, there's a massive drawing showing a brutal battle between good toys and bad toys. Toys are literally dying in this war. From the tall tower in the background, we can tell this is the same location where the boss fight with Doey takes place. In the drawing, we can even spot Kissy, along with texts like 40 dead and we are losing. And if you look right at the center, you can see our guy, Boxy Boo, crossed out. And right next to him is one of the most powerful characters, the one who had tons of screen time but never even got a chance to touch us. Here's the curious part. Pianosaurus isn't crossed out in this drawing. And that actually lines up because when we saw him, he was still alive, until Doey crushed him like an egg, quick and brutal. But Boxy Boo is crossed out here. So does that mean he's already dead? Why mark him this way unless it's a sign? To answer that, we need to understand a little more about him. Boxy Boo, Experiment 1160, was the very first success of the Bigger Bodies initiative, a project led by scientist Harley Sawyer at Playtime Co. After countless failures, they finally created Boxy, but he was far more animalistic than human. He didn't think like us. He acted like a beast, devouring anything in sight. Because of this, Boxy Boo was used as a human garbage disposal. This is backed up by tapes. In the Project Playtime recording where Harley first introduces Boxy, he literally says Boxy will now eat human flesh. He even tells another scientist to keep track of Rowan Stoll, an employee who had uncovered company secrets, so Boxy could be used to eliminate him. And sure enough, Stoll was eventually eaten by Boxy Boo. So this confirms Boxy Boo's purpose was to consume humans. But does that prove he's still alive? In Chapter 3's Hour of Joy tape, we see he survived that horrific event, just like many other toys. Since the Safe Haven drawing shows him in that battlefield, we know he was part of the massive toy war. And here's where things become clear. Doey was in that same battle. If Doey could destroy Pianosaurus so easily, it's not hard to imagine he could crush Boxy Boo as well. Even though Boxy is powerful, Doey is simply on another level. Considering that the battle took place in the same area where we later fight Doey, and that Boxy Boo is crossed out in the drawing, the conclusion is pretty strong. Boxy was destroyed in that war, most likely by Doey himself. Now, I'm sure many of you have seen that short from Mob Entertainment, the developers of Poppy Playtime. At first, it just looks funny. We see a Boxy Boo toy hanging down, Doey looking a bit startled, and then a small Huggy jumping out of the Boxy toy. Harley Sawyer is making fun in the background, which makes it seem more like a joke. But if you look deeper, there could be a hidden meaning. When the Boxy toy drops, Doey looks slightly nervous, almost like he's thinking, "Wait, didn't I already kill this guy?" Then, instead of Boxy, Huggy jumps out, as if to say Boxy isn't there anymore. Combine this with the Safe Haven drawing, and it feels like Mob may be hinting that Boxy Boo is truly gone. So, is Boxy Boo really dead, or could he still return in Chapter 5? From all the evidence, it seems like he's gone. But I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. And don't forget, follow me on Instagram, where you can ask me questions directly. Also, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.